this AUSA, the way he talk, that's one of them dudes. He black, but he ain't black. Trust me. He on time, man. Like that. This is a different type of guy. This is one of the type of guys, because I looked at it, I said, they boxed Diddy in. Diddy has no angles out. Same with Eric Adams, but obviously he's a mayor, so there's a lot more clout or prestige. On Diddy's case, black judge. Black judge, black AUSA, he black. The only white people are the prosecutors and his lawyer.
And the jury.
Yeah, well, let's see how much they like that No Way Out album. We got to see, man.
I mean, look, they're probably going to knock out, because I've been through court cases and jury selection and stuff like that. Like, anyone who's a Diddy fan on any level is going to get thrown out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyone who has a Diddy album in their collection is going to get voted out by the prosecution. See what I'm saying? Because they don't want any fans in that jury.
I was thinking about this, but I don't think it would be necessary in this case. I think, unless my memory serves me incorrectly, I believe in the Young Dolph case, they brought in a jury from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And they shipped in that jury from there
to
Memphis.
That happens because you don't want to...
Nothing was Nashville. I'm sorry. It was Nashville. They came from Nashville.
Yeah.
So they came from Nashville to Memphis.
Yeah. I mean, because you don't want a jury that's overly sympathetic to one side or the other.
Yeah.
You want it to be as fair as you possibly can because you're opening the door to a mistrial and appeal.
And supposedly it was because there was so much Dolph murals around around the city.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It just wasn't possibly for a fair
It makes sense. So the jury may not be in New York because Diddy is a big force in New York. They may go up to Buffalo or something where he's not as big of an entity and so forth. I don't know, man. I mean...
What do you think happens?
I mean, the only thing I can compare it to is R. Kelly and Harvey Weinstein. You saw what happened in those cases. I think the feds aren't fucking around. I mean, yes, you do see cases like Murder, Inc., where they beat the feds. But...
Well, did they really beat the feds? They weren't charged with
No, they were charged with using drug money.
Money laundering.
Yeah, money laundering. They beat it.
Yeah, but we haven't seen nobody beat a RICO. I've never seen somebody beat a RICO.
I mean, Freeway Ricky Ross, he got it reversed.
Okay, you might get on some appeal stuff. Was that federal?
I believe so, yeah.
And also, here's the thing. Southern District of New York, I've never seen him take an L. You see how the young boy beat California District.
Yeah.
Southern District of New York, it's a reason why they're issuing the warrants to get California resident houses searched, Miami residents houses searched. They're the big dogs. From what I hear, when it comes to the feds, Southern District of New York, best prosecutors, most resources, most proactive. HSI works with them like this.
I mean, look, I was shocked that Diddy didn't get bail because his contemporaries all got bail. R. Kelly got bail until he messed it up.
He hit up them witnesses. That's what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Harvey Weinstein had bail before he ultimately went to prison. I mean, even the FTX guy had bail, $250 million. Until he started messing with witnesses, and then once again, but Diddy called one of the witnesses 54 times, and that was enough to say, hey, you're witness tampering. So, I mean, honestly, based on what I've seen, he might go away for the rest of his life. He might get 20, 30 years. Yeah. Which, once again, back to my original point, if I knew something like this was coming down the line, I would try to get a submarine or a small private plane, or a tunnel.
Vlad, you think it's too easy to leave this country, but hell no.
Listen, when you have $1 billion...
Before you clear American airspace...
let me tell you something.
They're monitoring his bank accounts.
Let me tell you something. Proswell, from the Fugees, his appeal ended up getting thrown out, by the way. the main reason why he got convicted for what he got convicted for was because the guy that was actually doing the real money laundering, he has disappeared. They're saying he's in China somewhere. When you have $100 million, hundreds of millions of dollars, people are very willing to hide you. There's countries that are willing to hide you.
Vlad, it's a reason why.
How long was Bin Laden on the run until they finally found him?
Bin Laden wasn't on Star Island. Like Bin Laden wasn't chilling in Lower East Side. Like, come on.
I understand that. That was Diddy's mistake. But Diddy could have pulled a Bin Laden and completely disappeared off the planet.
I think if that happened, I think they would have grabbed up Justin, Christian, Quincy, the twins.
And then what? You can't charge him with nothing?
Yeah, but Bin
Laden had a whole huge fucking family.
Well, but here's the thing.
They had to leave him alone.
So now when they squeeze their entire family financially.
To do what?
Well, they could just financially squeeze them. Hey, all right, everybody's getting hit with wire fraud. Wire fraud.
Hey, kids, you'll have to go find real jobs like Dad did. Dad is hiding out. He doesn't want to do the rest of his life in prison. Y'all figured it out. I figured it out. Goodbye. I'm sorry. Self-preservation is a thing.
Hey, it's
a thing. I would not sit around and wait to go to prison for the rest of my life. I would make a run for it.
I think he's going to.
And there's lots of places when you have a lot of money that will harbor you legally.
I think he's going to get 20.
So look, you have a man who's what, 55?
Yeah. He's going to get 20. He's going to have to serve, was it 17, 18? Actually 16. That's 80%.
16 years at 55. So you got a 71 years old? You think that Diddy's looking forward to that?
But Vlad, here's the thing. You've lived 55 years of freak-off partying.
It doesn't matter. You are now in the present.
Vlad, here's the
all
thing.
Your past memories will not get you through all those other years.
Here's the thing I think you're always thinking, how the hell, even if he goes to Russia or whatever, first and foremost, if we're negotiating to get back basketball players and they're getting back war criminals, like, you think they're going to be like, no, we're holding Diddy down over here? Like, the next time that
nobody's a prisoner. These are not prisoner exchanges. Nobody's negotiating for Edward Snowden. No one's negotiating for Steven Seagal.
Well, they would.
No, they're not. They're not. They're not in jail cells. Vlad. You can't negotiate someone who's legally in the country. Listen, Putin would love to give Diddy a citizenship as a fuck you to America.
No, but hear what I'm saying. Yeah,
you can buy citizenships, right?
But even if you
do know that, right?
Yeah, no, but even if you're a citizen, if these countries with hazy extradition treaties, if the U.S. says, hey, listen, we fucking wasted a lot of money. There's this super popular pop culture guy, who's in your fucking country. We want him. This guy is like, what do you think? It's like, was it Sada Shakur? No, Diddy, get your stupid ass back into America. Like, I don't see it happening.
There is no diplomatic relations between Russia and America. America is funding a war that's killing Russians.
But still,
America is funding a war that is killing Russians. Russia is not negotiating with America and being friendly.
Vlad,
the Cold War is in full swing right now.
Vlad, the moment you see, you're talking as in if he had ran 2 years ago, cool. But no one. I'm gonna be honest with you. Remember, everything started in November. Last year, this time, so this is September. What is this day? 26, 27.
Yeah.
Nobody on earth, nobody's in Diddy's camp is thinking that they had just gotten the key to the city. They're feeling on a high. They got paid out millions of dollars from De Leon and the Ciroc situation. It was actually Diddy supposedly was about to get back in the liquor game, even though supposedly a part of the deal he had to stay out for a while. But he was trying to do other ventures. He was feeling at an all-time high.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? No one's thinking, let's sell this crib in Star Island, Homely Hills crib. Let's get rid of the private jet and let's go to Russia. The first thing happens, and immediately when that happens, I think we're gonna start see, obviously there's gonna be a little bit more discovery. That indictment was so bare bones. There's gonna be superseding indictments. Yeah. It's no way. there's the mere fact that how do you think the cops knew that he was at that airport about to get on that plane?
This was after the indictment.
No, that was the search warrant.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Oh,
so he had
during the actual
he had zero idea of the
raids
of the criminal investigation until then.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, maybe not. You would think that someone in Diddy's position,
well, actually, I am
he
wrong.
probably had some moles in the feds that may have given him a heads up.
No, yeah, I'm wrong because there's actual emails that they were emailing the AUSA. However, still,
there you go.
If Diddy heard about it, you think Diddy could have got on the plane? Like, I get what you're trying to say, disappear in the night, but how do you get from here to Russia?
Listen, Russell Simmons knew that there was a documentary being made about him, and the documentary premiered on HBO Max.
But he claims he comes back all the time. That's the difference.
Well, let me finish. At the point that he saw this documentary coming, and he's seen what's happened to R. Kelly and the Harvey Weinsteins when there's a whole bunch of media attention and so forth, he sold his West Hollywood house. I've been there. He had a Basquiat that was there. That got sold. He sold his condo in Tribeca, took a bunch of his money, went to Bali, built a hotel, sat back and got to see what was about to happen. The documentary came out, no one cared about it. It was a bunch of, 30 years ago, he kissed me when I didn't want him to, and he pushed up on me, and I didn't like it, something. It was not like an R. Kelly kind of thing. It was very, like, literally came and went because it was so softball. He sat back, and ultimately there were no criminal charges filed against him. There was a civil lawsuit, which he had to, he's probably dealing with right now, but there was no criminal case that ever came, which is why he goes back and forth.
Yeah.
But he was sitting there saying, this might happen, this might trigger.
You think he was going to go on a run?
I think he was going to just set up in Bali and sit up and live out his days in his hotel that he owns. And I'm sure building a hotel in Bali probably endeared him to the government to the point where they'll probably resist an extradition and so forth because he's putting so much money into the economy. Bali's not a big place.
Yeah, but the U.S. knows how to twist arms. Hey, we want this guy. You're not giving it to us? All right, bet. Tariff, motherfucker. Like, come on, we're getting who I want. If we want Diddy, we're not taking some little piece of shit ran down country protecting that motherfucker. Give him us.
Diddy's not that important in the grand scheme of things. Diddy's a guy that sexually assaulted a couple of women, and
it would be a huge embarrassment for the
bad, but it's a little different.
Diddy, Harvey Weinstein.
America can't get Snowden back, and he did full-blown treason.
Yeah, because
full-blown treason.
First of all, didn't he get in trouble overseas for some other stuff? Anyway,
no, I don't think so.
He's also being protected by like a pretty decent country
Russia,
who actually is vehemently opposed to what America is saying.
Exactly, which is why Diddy should have been over there too.
Man, there's no country that said, well, listen, sex trafficking cool over here, so you can come here. Ain't no country saying that. Not one.
Man, listen, Putin, who's been single for 100 years and has 100 kids and all that.
They don't legalize sex trafficking over there. In every country on earth, what Diddy, again, sex crimes are going to be banned. Maybe not necessarily how it's defined in this.
Listen, hiring prostitutes and fucking them and flying them
like Thailand or something like that.
Flying them in and so forth like that, I don't think is a huge deal in Russia and so forth.
Maybe if they were like the minors and they go overseas, they'd be fucking 16-year-olds.
But the minor stuff hasn't really been established. Yes, there's some accusations and so forth, but it doesn't sound like Diddy was messing with minors.
I think,
but like I said, I can show you a pedophile that went over to Europe and lived out for the last 30, 40 years.
Well, here's the thing.
Roman Polanski.
Did he realize he was going to be in a vice grip? He had to know. He was offering back publishing. He was changing his name. He was starting to move a little bit different. I don't think he thought there was going to be a federal indictment like this, but I definitely think he thought there was going to probably be some type of inquiry that could have involved the authorities. And So, okay.
All I'm saying is when you hear rumblings of that, you should, stay on the side of caution. I would just got a one-way ticket to Russia, sat back and saw what happened.
By the way, also, Vlad, about you saying that, the passports that were held, and I guarantee they
were held later.
No, but here's the thing. They're held later. The government never took them, right? So the government never took them. So they start offering the passports right after the raids, right? The government never took them.
Yeah.
The two boys, Justin and Christian, it's written in the emails. It says you will be able to get their passports too once they get renewed. We put in for them to be renewed. They never got renewed. I think the federal government was like, it's a reason. It don't take that long to get a damn passport.
No,
your daddy go to jail. You try to read. Oh, the whole family trying to go? Oh, hell nah.
No, listen, I'm sure the government was monitoring and so forth, but at some point, if you have your passport,
if Diddy
and you're not charged with anything at the time, and you have some government connections, and you're flying private and stuff like that, there's a reasonable chance you can get on a plane and get out the country and not come back. That's all I'm saying. It happens every day.
Hell nah.
Listen, I remember when
under a federal indictment, you're on a manifest. If it was some fake name shit.
When I was in Brazil, one of the guys that was like my translator was an American dude who I believe had a dual citizenship with Brazil, and he had, his family's from Brazil, but he caught some drug charges in America. He saw that these things were about to really hit, so he just went to Brazil and just never came back. This happens all the time.
Not when you're the head of a RICO indictment that is being focused on. Again, we'll disagree on that for forever, probably.
We'll disagree.